All Things Valentine is a Hallmark film from 2016. This is directed by Harvey. It's written by J.B. White, and we have a cast including Sarah Rafferty and Sam Page, and it's quite a decent film. Avery has a blog, and she meets Brendan, and obviously things might seem to go off in a very pleasant direction, but it's not very straightforward, and this is largely because he has an ex, and he has some feelings, and those feelings connect with Avery's blog. And that kind of puts a spanner in the works because he's very angry about a lot of things. He has a lot of negative emotions, and maybe he blames Avery for those and his relationship with his ex. And I realize that's a very vague description of what's going on. But basically, we have a potential love interest here, but nothing is straightforward. In fact, I'd say more than most Hallmark films, the love aspect is one of the most complex. Not a criticism, absolutely not a criticism. Usually it's boy meets girl or girl meets boy, and they end up going off into the sunset pretty quickly, and there may be a couple of obstacles. But this one, especially with the character of the ex, it's a little bit more complicated, it's a little bit more tangled, and that meant it wasn't completely predictable, and I really liked that aspect of it. I thought it worked really well. I thought all of the characters were very well written. The performances are really strong, and in general, I enjoyed it. There are times when the narrative is a little dull. That's absolutely the case. It's not strong from start to finish. Same with the characters. I really liked them, but there were a couple of times when they were maybe not the most interesting, or I didn't have the strongest emotional response to them. But generally speaking, I enjoyed following their journeys. The narrative was interesting. It wasn't completely predictable. Visually, it's not as interesting as a lot of Hallmark films. Certainly, Hallmark films of the more recent years, they're usually brighter. They have a more appealing color palette. This one was a little dull visually, but nothing bad. Just not the most interesting. But in general, I liked it. If you're a Hallmark fan, definitely check out All Things Valentine. It's not perfect, but it has a lot to offer, and ultimately, I liked the experience. If you're new to Hallmark rom-coms, I'd say don't make this one the first one you watch because, as I said, the quality compared with some of the more recent ones maybe isn't quite there, but that's not unusual. I'd say Hallmark really began to find their niche around about 2020. The earlier rom-coms are getting there, but they're not quite there, and that's certainly what we can see here. But if you want to watch it for whatever reason, give it a go. It's a decent film. All Things Valentine, all things considered, is a pretty decent experience.